Here's a little question for you. Should you use AI rewarded answers in your job interviews? Because if your answer is yes, then I made a number of videos with specific examples how NVIDIA, Google, and many other high-performing companies explicitly ban the use of AI in their job interviews. And if you ask me as an interview coach, I can tell you one of the most common reasons for rejection in job interviews today is candidates bluffing. And bluffing with AI has been a new sport in job interviews as of recently. Now, to my surprise, there are some companies that have started a new trend these days, that is to provide with job descriptions that are rewarded using AI. So in other words, instead of spending the time to write a proper job description, they would just expedite the process with some AI bot, right? I believe this is a bad sign. I would definitely encourage you not to apply for these types of jobs. So what are some examples of this worrying new trend? The first one is at Salesforce. So Salesforce uses AI to reward many of their job descriptions. Here's an example for a program manager. Now, in reality, not all job descriptions are rewarded using AI, but many of them are, and I believe this is a huge mistake on their part. Probably even more interesting for you, I found another example of an AI rewarded job description, which was actually not an isolated example either. And guess who does this? Meta. Meta now employs AI to write their job descriptions. Not all their job descriptions, but still Meta has introduced AI rewarded job descriptions in their job interviews. Now, the problem with this approach is that if the company itself encourages the use of AI throughout the interviewing process, I can tell you the number one conclusion for candidates will be, hey, but that's fine if I use AI to reward my answers and, to bluff a little bit during the job interview. If you still don't trust me, I have two further examples for you. The first one is, what if you took your story, take your best story or any interview answer you choose, and try to reward it using AI, try to ask AI to improve it, and try to query AI 2 or 3 times. Out of those 2 or 3 times, I guarantee you that AI will suggest you bluff. In other words, you come up with some new metric or you change some truth in there, that will make the answer more compelling, but it will essentially advise you to lie for your upcoming job interview. And the second example of how AI rewarded answers are not really to your advantage would be to take an example, right? AI reward your best answer and then speak it out loud, even record yourself, and then see how it sounds, see for yourself. I actually do this with many of my clients who are, AI enthusiasts, and I sell AI features in my training programs as well. But AI rewarding your answers is dangerous business. And again, one of the most common reasons that candidates and qualified candidates get rejected from job interviews is because they bluff. And in fact, I said in the video that earlier on that companies such as NVIDIA or Google explicitly ban this on their career page simply because they know that due to the AI hype, it's also the perfectly qualified candidates who fall into the trap of using AI too extensively and, bluffing or sounding fake in these job interviews when they are, perfectly qualified and well-intentioned. But simply because of this AI hype, it can be quite easy for you to fall into this trap.